Hi, I'm Selina from Annie's Bookstop of Worcester, and I'm here with Jim Zebrowski from the Aldrich Astronomical Society. And Jim is going to be doing just talking to us today about, well, Jim, I'll just let you take it from here.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Hello, everyone. My name is Jim Zebrowski. I am the current president of the Aldrich Astronomical Society. We do a lot of educational outreach programming throughout central Massachusetts. We're a 501c3 educational nonprofit. We do a lot of STEM activities. This week, we were heavily involved with the WPI Touch Tomorrow activities, which do a lot of STEM programming throughout central Massachusetts, and also training for personal development credits for teachers. That was pretty exciting just to be able to attend some of those programs, because they had a lot of online. It was remote and online because of the pandemic this year, to try to get the information out to the public. I'm also representing NASA as a solar system ambassador for Massachusetts. So I have a connection there where I get special training by NASA for outreach programming. We also have a lot of activities as a club, and have started, much to my amazement. It's a thrill to finally get out in the public again, face to face, as opposed to doing everything remote. And we started out with the Gardner Boys and Girls Club in Massachusetts. And we did a series, I think there was 5 programs so far we've done, just completed this Thursday. So it was wonderful to get that response, that live action response from the kids, basically, about activities, and they all planned their activities. They said, we want to talk about black holes this week. Next week is asteroids. Next week is the solar system. Then we want a video. And so they kind of ran the show, and I was responding to their questions, and they had a lot of great questions. So it's great to get it back in the action. I know a lot of people have been chomping at the bit. We were a little concerned as an astronomy club, because we're membership supported for all our activities. And one of the things we were concerned about, how are we going to attract membership when we're not doing anything? We're not there face to face. Whereas in the past, we've done a lot of programs in libraries and after school enrichment and things like this. And much to our amazement, and pleasing amazement, is the fact that we went from a membership of 75 to 80 people last year. We're now at about 113 this year. So we found out, as the pandemic took effect, restrictions and the quarantine, everyone was at home. Guess what? You look up, and what do you see? The night sky. And then, of course, everyone has questions about the night sky. So that was amazing development itself. Now that the pandemic has kind of opened up the restrictions, it's easing up because everyone's getting vaccinated. And I urge everyone out there to get vaccinated. It's a wonderful process. Just go in there, they walk you through it, and you pick your vaccine, and basically you just get a shot in the arm, and then 4 weeks later the follow-up. And it's just freeing, knowing that at least you have some degree of protection, plus you can offer protection to other people around you. So we're now getting to the point now where we've opened up our observatory for membership viewing. We've started that again. It's key to let people know when you go out in the night sky now, as it's getting later and later when it gets dark. We have, as it gets toward evening twilight, you'll notice there's going to be a reddish object in the western horizon near some brighter stars. That'll be the planet Mars. There'll also be appearing in the western skies right after sunset a very bright object. That'll be the planet Venus. Okay. So people are always wondering and looking up and just saying, I wonder what those objects are. Venus will be on the western horizon, very, very dim, almost unnoticeable now because Mars has moved so far away from Earth, but it'll definitely have a reddish, ruddy hue to it, will be the planet Mars. Later in the summer, we can kind of prepare for the action, because August 2nd is the opposition of Saturn, and August 19th will be the opposition of Jupiter. And as amateur astronomers, we explain to the public, opposition just means my sun goes down, basically the planet is visible on the eastern horizon and will be up all night. So those are planned activities we got coming up in August. Right now, Jupiter and Saturn can be seen if you want to wait up to around after midnight. Saturn's views of its rings are always stunning through a telescope. So keep an eye on our club activities on our website, which is aldrich.club. Just type in ALDRICH.club, CLUB, and you'll go right to our website, and there's a list of events and activities will be taking place. And I can't really inform you about what we're planning because things are just opening up now and people are starting to reach out and ask us to participate in activities in the public, and we're taking full advantage of that. But that is good news. This Saturday, we're going to be doing a membership only viewing site at our observatory. We're hoping for good weather this Saturday, and it looks like it might be. We have an observatory with tracking mounts that can track objects in the night sky. We have multiple telescopes for membership to use at the site, plus a lot of members bring their own telescopes. So this is who we are. We want to share our passion about the night sky, to participate with the public and get them involved in looking up because, hey, it's free. You don't have to spend any money to tilt your head back and look up and gaze in wonderment about the night sky and the objects up there. And if you join a society like ours, we are always eager to explain what those objects are so you can more actively participate in sharing the knowledge of our universe with others. And I think that's going to be very exciting coming up. And like I said, this is the first few weeks where we're getting used to going out in the public again, and we're very pleased with the response we've had so far.
Great.
Coming up, I should mention two things which I am very excited about and interested as a solar ambassador and as also just an amateur astronomer. One of the things is the Lucy project. Lucy describes an asteroid mission that will be launched in the October timeframe of this year. And Lucy takes its name from the anthropologist who basically discovered an ancient ancestor of ours and named them Lucy. And basically we're going back and finding out how the solar system started by looking into asteroids that are preceding and basically behind and preceding Jupiter in its orbit around the sun. So it's going to take a near pass of about 8 different asteroids so we can explore the solar system a little better, understand the building blocks of our solar system, and get some knowledge from that. And that's going to be something like a 12-year mission, but the launch will be sometime in October of this year. And of course, the long anticipated and long waited for amateur astronomers and people who are in the know is the launch of the James Webb Space Telescope, which I don't know if you can see me behind there in my screen. I've got the bay where they were building this in a clean room, and it's an unfoldable, it's a multiple mirror telescope, which is about 6.5 meters across. To give you a scale, the Hubble is about 2.4 meters across. So this is a pretty large scale telescope. Its capability is in the near infrared range for a key reason. We want to see the development of the first stars and the first galaxies in our universe. So we're going to really push the observing limit all the way back as far as we can in the night sky. So that's going to be key. And right now, the initial schedule was for October 31st. Due to COVID activities at the launch site, which will be at French Guiana off the coast of South America in an Ariane 5 rocket, the rockets have been on hold due to some complications that they're working on. And of course, everyone was on restricted activity because of the COVID process. So that's starting to open up now, but as a result, we now have to push the launch back into the November or December timeframe. And we will post and share this with the patrons of Annie's Bookstop to make sure they're aware when this is happening, because you can look at this live and see this activity and hold your breath along with the rest of us as we see this launch take place and it being positioned in a place well beyond the moon, the furthest out in the space an observatory has been placed, and it will be allowing us to understand better about our cosmic origins, the origins of our universe and things like that. So that is kind of an overview of what we're all about. Like I said, we're active in the community. Even when we were under quarantine, we did a lot of activities where we did remote talks, sharing with the membership, inviting others in the public. We work with WPI students, engineering students, to do activities in the community to support their activities and getting their degrees awarded. We've also worked with scouts and teachers here, advising them. So all during the pandemic, we've been very active, but more in the background now. And we're very much pleased to be invited and at least talk about who we are and answer any questions that the patrons of your bookstore can have for us. So with that, I'll kind of just allow you to ask some questions if you find some questions you want to ask.
How can people get in touch with you?
Oh, very easy. The best way to do it is, without being too much pressure on your memory, is just aldrich.club. Just go to our website, type in aldrich.club, C-L-U-B, and that'll go right to our website. And in there, if you want to contact us or learn about our membership, how to participate as becoming a member, there's an events calendar there, and you can send us a message where it says contact, and just send a message off to us and ask us anything you want. And this includes everyone, just people who just have curiosity questions, or I've got a child at home and, oh my God, he has to do a program about the solar system and I know absolutely nothing. What do I do? Or we're trying to work with some teachers and, oh my goodness, it would be wonderful to have a telescope available, but we don't have one. We don't have access to one. Can you help us out? And the answer to all those is yes. Please get in touch with us and we'll work very capably with you to support you in resources, material handouts for the classroom, and also getting the students up to par and knowledgeable about their solar system and in any kind of activity they want to participate in.
Great. So what is the latest news on the space station? Anything new going on up there?
Yeah, there is I guess there's 6 people up there right now. The big news is, of course, everyone heard about this, is the SpaceX, the Dragon 2 was recently launched very successfully with 4 astronauts on board. So the US is now participating in activities with launches from our own country. We're still participating with the Russians, launching our astronauts over in Russia, in Kazakhstan, using the Soyuz rockets, which are highly reliable. And they are an active participant in keeping the science activities and the supplies going on the International Space Station. Just to let everyone know, kind of frame of reference, the International Space Station is only about 220 to 240 miles above our heads. You can look on a app, which you can download on your phone, any kind of phone you have. Just look for an ISS Webb app, and it will basically allow you to tell when the ISS is passing overhead. And it's kind of cool. We recently had a scouting group and we pointed out the ISS as it was passing overhead. And it's pretty exciting, realizing it's 320 feet long and about 240 feet across. You've got 6 or 7 active astronauts on board, multiple cargo ships visiting it. It's like a very busy spaceport. And they're doing a lot of scientific experiments to prove our capabilities here on Earth as far as health, knowledge about the universe, and just exploring space in general and building up that knowledge thing. So, but it's kind of cool when you can go out and point up and see an object in the night sky and realize there's 7 active living astronauts on board that space station, and you'll be able to see with your own eyes. It's always a cool thing to see the expression, especially on young kids' eyes when they see something like that, and they can easily identify it themselves.
So a personal question, what got you interested in astronomy?
Okay, my journey to astronomy, from my memory, was my father was basically in the Army it was the Army Air Force, and later became the Air Force. But the Army Air Corps had he flew on aboard B-17s, and as a result of being on a B-17, he had to take celestial navigation. So his big thing, he would always point out the planet Venus, either as a morning star or an evening star. And he basically pointed it out to me one time when I was like 5 or 6 years old, and I don't know what the reason was, it stuck. And I was just so fascinated. What was a planet? How did you know that object was a planet? What does it mean saying that's a planet? And this is before the space age actually starts. So when this was introduced to me, this was prior to, there was no orbiting space stations. There was no orbiting spacecraft at all. Human beings had not ventured into space. We had not even visited any of the planets at that point. And we were actually trying to launch our first spacecraft orbiting the Earth. And of course, the Russians beat us to it with the Sputnik, but we followed through with Explorer 1 right after that. So it was during that time period I became very interested. And I always like to tell, because we do a lot of activities with libraries. And my father pointed out this. And of course, I was so impressed with my father's knowledge. I said, okay, Dad, how about this object? What's that object? What's this? What's that? And what's that shape up in the night sky? And all of a sudden he looked at me and he says, I'm going to take you to the library. So that's where I got introduced to the library. And I actively went there on my own. And I just read every single book. And there was not a lot of books back then in the early, late 50s when I first started out. So that's how I got started. But I always say, and my father's no longer with us now, but I remember when he was toward the end of his life, I made sure I thanked him profusely for what he did for me, because I said, look at what I ended up being. I ended up getting a degree in physics. I ended up getting selected by NASA as a solar ambassador. I ended up doing all these active talks to get other people interested in astronomy. And it was all because of him taking the time with his son, pointing out things in the night sky. And I'm able to do that with my daughter and son when they were younger too. So that's kind of cool.
That's great. So what would you suggest for children now, the best way to get involved with astronomy? I mean, aside from joining Aldrich.
Oh yeah, well, we have an active group basically. Parents are always arriving with their kids. We have problems with a project and I don't know what to do. And then they find out all of a sudden we have junior memberships where you can join Aldrich. But separate from that, there's capabilities. We've had merit badge participation where the Scouts, and this is both Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, where they Girl Scouts, I think they have the Gold Award badges and the Boy Scouts have merit badges. And the Girl Scouts have just opened a new list of experiences where they'll be able to study the night sky and earn capabilities with that, about learning about the night sky and space exploration. So they are always surprised when they go to our website and see pictures of Cub Scouts and Girl Scouts and all kinds of things. And one of the activities we participate here locally is Geek is Glam every year that it had. Geek is Glam at WPI. We did the WPI Touch Tomorrow when it was active in the public prior to the quarantine. And teachers have reached out to Alhambra, basically in Shrewsbury, is a school that reached out to us. The teacher there knew us and reached out to us, and we gave her advice on purchasing a telescope that they could work with their kids on. She handed this off to a parent who was willing to buy a telescope for their child. They reached out to us and we were able to offer advice on that. So we're very user friendly. I don't want to come across as intimidating anyone, basically, because I've been doing this for 40, 50 years now. And the key thing I want to emphasize is, even if you're a ranked beginner and you can't identify even the North Star, no problem. We have a range of activities where we can get you engaged. Even if you don't join our club, you can ask the questions. We can give you the links and support you via the internet. We can support you by helping by loaning maybe a telescope to get you active and show you how to use the telescope, especially if you're a teacher and you're trying to do an activity with the school and your class, which would benefit from that. And as a solar system ambassador, I always got packages of materials. So the teacher says, you probably don't know much about Earth because we're doing Earth science this week and I need some activities for Earth science. Hey, guess what? I want to reassure everyone out there, Earth is still a planet. Earth is a big planet. And we do have connections with the Earth Science Institute, and we do share these activities and lesson plans, including DVDs and stuff like this. So we're able to deliver packages into the schools where the teachers can have the material, keep it with them, and over a period of weeks, share that with the students. So that is kind of an overall concept of who we are and what we're trying to do. And no matter what you are or who you are or what your knowledge skill is, Aldrich is there for you.
Okay. Where I know that you want to be in a place that doesn't have a lot of light and things like that to look up at stars. What would be the best place for you to see the most of the stars?
There have been a couple places where we've gone. And, you know, and it's I want to preface this because if you ask me as an amateur astronomer, I'm going to talk to you about the darkest place possible.
Right.
And we have an Oakham Observatory site up in Oakham, Massachusetts, and that's a nice dark sky place. But a lot of people don't have access to places like that.
Right.
So I want to preface it saying anyone can engage in viewing the night sky, whether you're in a city or you're in the country. And the first thing you want to do is shield yourself from the light, shut off all the lights around your house, and see if you can go to a shadowed area around your house, even if you're in the middle of the city. And then look up. And some people can only look up vertically. They can't see much of a horizon. Do that and see what you can see up in that part of the night sky. The other thing is you can do download some star maps, which are very friendly and free of charge. Star maps are available, and I can share a link with you so you can post it. Okay. And then you can print out the star maps for each month. And this will allow you to see what's going on in the night sky. My favorite other bit of advice, especially for beginners, is what's up. Okay, it's what's up from NASA. So you put in NASA, what's up, and it's what's up for June 2021, what's up for July 2021. And seriously, in 3 minutes, a video walking you through what's available for you to view in the night sky. They'll walk you through the whole process. So that'll introduce you to the possibilities of what it's available to see. What's that bright object in the western horizon? If it's up there and it's Venus, they're going to talk about Venus. That'll be visible in a night sky. And it's only a 3-minute view on YouTube. And for parents, I recommend you go there and see if you can download it or get it downloaded ahead of time, because YouTube can be a little trying for the younger kids. And you might want to get that isolated and download it into your computer and then show it to your child and share it with you. And also for teachers, they can download that ahead of time. So that's another way of engaging. But there's local places. I know the Ecotarium has a stargazing events. They have a planetarium, which is digital planetarium. We've worked with them before. We've been to Tower Hill. They have a veranda out by Tower Hill, which is in Boylston. And we've done some viewing sessions there. Local libraries. I can't say this enough. I know nothing about telescopes. I'm scared to talk to my students about telescopes. Have you got a library card? Go to your local library. You're going to be shocked. Lay that library card on and say, I want to take home the library telescope with me. And for 1 week to 2 weeks, depending on which library it is, you can borrow a telescope, which Aldrich Astronomical is modified, deliver it to a library, take it home with you, and share the experience with your family of looking up in the night sky, a shared family experience. And that's what we highly recommend. So there's multiple different avenues. We're so active in the community, there's not just one way of approaching it. There's multiple ways. Plus a direct way is just contact us. And there's no charge for asking us questions.
Yeah, and also, I mean, even if you don't have a telescope, there are ways you could just look up at the sky, right?
One of my favorite things is unaided eye viewing, or in my day, you used to call it naked eye viewing. Basically, you just go out with your eyes, and you wear glasses, look up in the night sky, and then see the shapes up there. Constellations are shapes in the night sky that the ancients kind of portrayed. And then recently, the International Astronomical Union classified as certain segments of the sky belong to certain constellations, simply because with our giant telescopes, we now have to look into deep space. So we have to know the boundaries of where we're looking up in the night sky. But there's 44 northern sky constellations, and most of them are very simple. Yes, so that'll be the easiest way to go out with the unaided eye, see if you can determine the shapes. You can ask for some help from us by, once again, going to our website or downloading that map. They will show you where to look. And like I said, the International Space Station, it's space exploration at its best because it's something you can live see. You can participate online with the liftoffs and the resupply missions of the Dragon capsule delivering astronauts to the International Space Station. NASA has a live channel that will allow you to participate live. And I've had some teachers in classrooms show it live to their students as it lifts off, if it happens to be during the daytime when the students are there. So there's a lot of activities that can be done with that. We also are out in the public in the summertime. I've been working with Massachusetts. They have a summer camp, so I'll be engaged with them, and we do rocketry activities and hands-on activities talking about space and demonstrating to the young kids to get them interested in space exploration and knowledgeable about our solar system. But you do not have to have a very expensive piece of optic to enjoy our universe. Just viewing with your own eyes is really a wonderful and pleasurable experience. And while I got your attention, everyone always asks, they're going to ask you too, why didn't you ask them this question? When is the next meteor shower? Well, every summer, the most reliable meteor shower of all time is the Percy meteor shower. And they call that because the incoming meteors come in from the direction of the constellation of Perseus, which is in the northeast sky in the summertime around 10 o'clock on August 11th. You'll have the peak of the meteor shower, but a week or two before and a week or two after, the Perseus will be seen. And that just means you can see 75 to 100 incoming meteors coming in. And that is a thrill beyond all belief. If you've never participated, especially getting away from the lights of the city and getting out into the suburbs and seeing these streaks of light going across the night sky and realizing what that implies. So that's another way of engaging with having people get to participate, especially with families. Get your whole family out there and then lay down on a cot, get the DEET spray on your arms to make sure the bugs stay away, and then just have a delightful time out there sharing the experience, seeing how many quote unquote shooting stars you can see with these incoming meteors burning up high above the atmosphere, about 70, 80 miles high. But it's a thrilling experience, and it'll be better this year than ever.
And I know you said, was it What's Up? You could see you would be able to hear what's going on. Does that also tell you when the space station is going to be above?
What's Up may talk about the space station, but usually does a focus on probably for June. They're going to be talking about the fact Venus is returning to the night sky. So they'll talk something topical. For example, June 10th, we had an annular eclipse. So that they probably talked about the annular eclipse. So every month is a little bit different. In August, they'll probably talk about opposition of Saturn and Jupiter and when you can see. And remember, opposition, not a scary term. All it means is sun goes down on one side of the sky. Opposite is when the planet comes up. So the planet is directly opposite the sun. So you get to see the planet all night long. So I highly recommend going to your app. And I have an Android. And the app is ISS app, and you can just download that. NASA has some versions of it. There's some versions that are made up by private people. And it can tell you all about the different satellites that pass overhead. In addition to the space station, you can talk about the Chinese space station. You can talk about Hubble. You can talk about all the flare satellites that you can be seen in other orbiting satellites. So it's kind of interesting from that perspective to see what you can see with your unaided eye. So that is easily available and downloadable. I'm trying to think, boy, there, oh yeah, let me just take 2 seconds here. And I was opening up my Android phone, and I think there's something called NASA Selfies. Yeah, you're, especially parents with small kids would enjoy this. And you download an app, and it's called NASA Selfies. And all it does is it has multiple backgrounds like the Crab Nebula, the Andromeda Galaxy, and all this. And you have a spacesuit with a visor, and you go right up to your child, take a picture of their face, and all of a sudden they appear inside a spacesuit floating in front of the Crab Nebula or the Andromeda Galaxy. And I've done this at various shows in the past where we've been live, and the kids just light up when they see themselves in a spacesuit. So that's another way. I mean, there's simple ways of participating and engaging with the smaller kids, especially. People were basically saying, yeah, this guy's a physicist. He's way above our heads. We're never going to understand him. And we're inviting him to talk to kindergarten kids. Well, guess what? The teacher kept waving me on, keep going, because the kids were so engaged, you know, and you got to talk at their level so they can basically understand what you're saying, understand why is this guy so excited and animated. And that's important to me to get that out there. So from kindergarten on to 90 and plus, we engage with the public. So I want to reassure both teachers and parents, there's a lot of activities out there, very simple, and please do not be intimidated.
Okay. I think those are all the questions that I have for you.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for letting us know about the Aldrich, and thanks for talking to us today.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to the NASA What's Up and a link to the star maps, which people can download free of charge, and just give you some informational pictures that you might want to post where your blog is, just so people can see a couple pictures of what we talked about today. So additional reinforcement. So yeah, but thank you very much for inviting me. I hope people enjoyed themselves, and please do get out tonight or tomorrow night, whenever the next clear night is, and just tilt your head back and look up and really enjoy your universe. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Take care.
Nice talking to you.